Today we'll be reacting to the delusion of religion in Africa. The delusion of religion in Africa. It's one of the most religious country. I think so. I don't know.
The delusion of religion in Africa. 99% of Nigerians are religious, be it Christianity or Islam. I mean, religion is supposed to make people good with high morals. However, 99% of Nigerians are corrupt and dishonest. Oxymoronic, right? Throughout Black Africa, Christianity is the largest institution of mental gymnastics. I mean, the Christianity that the Europeans brought
Right.
to Africa left when the Europeans left. I cherish some of the fundamentals of Judeo-Christian values, but what we inherited in Africa is not the same. After politicians on the continent, pastors and religious people are the next richest. Nigerian pastors have private jets, universities, and many other mega properties. They are worshipped like gods. Black Africans would turn up.
I feel like that's hard to get bread nowadays, bro. Just become a pastor, become a prophet, nigga. Become a prophet. You have your own private church, your own private, you know, Rolls Royce. You know, people should be donating for the pastor's car.
For religious crusade more often than for academic endeavors that could better their lives and careers. Churches are packed and getting bigger like football stadiums,
Damn.
whilst schools are empty and the collective community charities are virtually non-existent. From Monday to Sunday, Black people attend church in some capacity. In countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Kenya, and South Africa, churches are growing faster than schools, academic institutions, research and development, and hospitals combined. Nigeria is the capital.
Yeah, man, it's the desperation to go to heaven, I think, or to get money. Like churches promises this certain type of lifestyle. You'll be, debt debt free. They're gonna pray for you. You'll be out of situation. You'll be out of your struggle. All these promises. So people they want to live a stress free life. Where do they go? They run to the churches.
Of religious fraud. It produces, on average, more pastors than scientists, engineers, and IT professionals combined. The churches
new method.
are clean, massive, and well maintained, whilst directly outside you are welcomed into their dirty streets full of litter, urine, and abandoned infrastructure. Don't we all wish they looked
Am I wrong?
after their infrastructure as they do?
What are your
their
thoughts on
churches?
this?
African churches have become a place where the rich go to intimidate the poor. Donations in churches are announced for all.
Pastor pulling up on a fucking Bentley. Goddamn. Measures.
To hear like it was an Oscar award. They even have titles for exclusive members, especially those who pay more. The Christianity that the European left us has long gone. What we praise in Africa is not Christianity, but the backwardness of our failed cultures. In Nigeria, the church is a place where everyone comes prepared, well dressed in their best shoes and clothing. You'd see these rich guys with their nice cars driving past all these potholes, impoverished neighborhoods, seeing all these underprivileged children, but never caring for them. But when they get to their church,
Double R. Rose. Pastor's car, bro.
churches, they announce
The members, what are they driving? Golf 2, walking on 2 feet.
their massive offerings to the church, which then goes to the pastor's bank account, which he then uses to buy the Louis Vuitton shoes that he wears, Hugo Boss suit that he wears, and the Chanel sunglasses he wears, whilst preaching from a book
Praise to
printed
God.
in China, which he has barely read or understood. I mean, who wears designer sunglasses at the pulpit, preaching to people who can't remember the last time they had a proper meal?
They don't care, bro. They don't care.
Telling them how to go to heaven. Does this make any sense? Monday service.
These guys, they live heaven on earth, while they're telling you guys to die to go to heaven. That church offering those church donations they are using to buy their mansions, their private jets, their cars, their outfit, expensive channels, bro.
of the Lord.
Telling you that if you pray more, you'll be like them. If you donate more, if you give, you get.
According to Luke. Tuesday, service of the Lord, according to Matthew. Wednesday, service of the Lord, according to Mark. And so
They're using the Bible to get filthy rich.
forth until Sunday. These people flock to their churches every day and they spend, on average, 4 hours there, screaming to the heavens and speaking in some incomprehensible jargon they call speaking in tongues.
Speaking in tongues.
In Nigeria and in most black African countries, man of God is the new title for these fraudsters who call themselves pastors. In fact, Nigeria alone produces more men of God than the rest of Africa produces engineers.
Damn.
There are more men of God than there are STEM field professionals.
Damn.
How can such a continent prosper? As I speak right now, the Nigerians, black Africans, and even those who follow me are unsubscribing because I have touched on their untouchable.
Yeah, this is a
religion
sensitive
and
topic,
God.
bro.
What if these guys were to build
This is a sensitive topic, bro.
a research
This quote unquote man of God's
center where ideas are shared, developed, and then transformed into solutions for building roads, bridges, public housing, hospitals, sewage and drainage systems, instead of flocking into these massive holes every day and screaming like lions in the wild. Did you know that if there were an election in Nigeria today to choose between going to school and gaining an education or going to church and worshiping God, I kid you not, over 90% would vote to go to church with pride. You need to see how political campaigns are conducted in Nigeria. You think you'd hear things like, I intend to do this and that. Instead, they'll be preaching about God and the Bible or the Quran. Nigerians and black Africans are more impressed by how well you quote the Bible or the Quran than how well you manage the economy. How
Guess who also know the Bible from cover to cover? The devil. The devil can quote the Bible all day, every day. The devil knows the Bible more than you. These pastors, they also know the Bible.
can people like this develop? Everywhere they go and everything they do, they scream so loud and celebrate like they've invented the
It's the prestigiousness of the pastors, man. They're always like the prestigiousness of the pastors.
cure for foolishness. Have you ever
Bothers me.
wondered why black Africans are always so happy? I mean, me too. Norway has one of the highest GDP per capita in the world, and every Norwegian is worth over $200,000
Damn.
according to the country's sovereign wealth fund. Yet, when you see Norwegians, you think they're miserable. But black Africans are always so boisterous and overexcited. Why? During my time in Lagos, Douala, Libreville, Luanda, Accra, and many more African cities, I have been to them all. My best days were Sundays because I can easily drive around without seeing anyone since they'll all be in church.
Yeah, bro. If you want to go for a peaceful drive, nobody disturbing, there'll be no traffic, to be on Sundays because everybody's at church.
Screaming senselessly. Also, Fridays in Abuja were a nightmare. These guys would literally block the streets and scream Allah Akbar, preventing
Allah Akbar.
the functioning of the economy so that they
Muslims.
can pray to their fictional character. They'd urinate, litter, and do ablutions in public, blocking the whole city. And you wonder why black Africa is poor. I'm telling you, the Judeo-Christian values that the Europeans brought to Africa have been replaced by African backwardness. Why is God still very active in Africa but has gone to sleep in Japan, the UK, Germany, Taiwan, or Singapore? As we speak, God is performing excellent miracles in Africa through his men of God, raising people from the dead, curing the blind, and performing other impossible miracles. I'm not kidding you here. African pastors are raising the dead and curing the blind. You guys must think I'm joking, right? I mean, that's what the men of God and their lackeys would like you to
It's a
believe. You
movie.
think that if these African men of God performed miracles, then Africa would be the perfect place for such blessings. Because everywhere you look across that continent, someone
If that was the case, it would be like Africa's supposed to be up there, man. Rich, like King Solomon rich, you know, Mansa Musa rich, King David rich. If these are true men of God,
needs help. Why aren't these men of God going out there and start fixing up Africa through the
building schools,
power of
building
their
roads,
fictional
building
character? In
skyscrapers,
contrast,
nothing,
Europeans, Chinese, Koreans,
nothing, man.
and Japanese are busy inventing tools and other medical feats that save and improves lives. If there were truly a God as described in the Bible and the Quran, that dude would have struck all the men of God in Africa for the evil they've inflicted on the masses. Are you offended as a Christian, Muslim, or those with some form of deistic beliefs? You can't have it both ways, my friends. If you are offended, like black people were offended when I called them out, then I hope you see the hypocrisy staring right back at you. No, you don't need any God to develop a country or build a nation. Yes, you can build and develop successful economies, whether you believe in the spaghetti monster, Allah, Jesus, or Buddha, as long as you keep your version of God to yourself and separate it from the affairs of the state. Why can't African churches pray peacefully without disturbing the peace?
I was minister, why I stand on the altar? They don't say to me, I should pray for your eyes.
Some buildings in Africa host multiple churches and they never conduct their rituals peacefully.
When I say Jesus, you say Christ. Jesus.
You must hear it. They'll mount loudspeakers outside screaming to make
Yeah, man. People, well, this question somebody was asking: why do miracles only happen in church, but not in hospitals? You go in the hospitals, see a lot of these people are suffering, while the town has these massive, well-known pastors that can heal miracles, that can raise people from the dead and all that, but they don't go to the hospital to help the people. I wonder why. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, man? Comment below.
sure your earbuds are burst. Why can't they pray quietly like white, I repeat, white churches in Europe, not America, please? Because some American Christians are just as annoying, if not more. If you think we're wrong, if you think we missed anything, please leave them in the comment section below.
Yeah, man, that was the video. I don't know, man. As Africans, we are brainwashed in a way to think that going to church will take us to heaven or something. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on the video? It's a very sensitive topic. Some people they're not gonna like it. They're gonna be mad with it because they're too programmed to think for themselves. They are too brainwashed by society, by the church, and all that. So, what are your thoughts, man? Me personally, I think we're cooked, man. I'm out.